I'm about to get started on the second project. It's going to be this portfolio. I have made one of these before, and I use it to hold like all my bill information. It's kind of handy to have. It measures 14 inches tall and 9.5 inches wide, and it holds a small, the smaller size legal pad. And the pieces I'm using, once again, are some scrap oil tan leather pieces I had laying around, as well as my last scrap piece of brown suede. All right, now I have the main pieces of this project laid out on the scraps. I just wanted to show you what they look like laying up on there. All right. I've mentioned this in other videos, but I'm going to do it again. I cut out the corners of these projects when I'm cutting them out of the leather before I cut the straightaways, just because it makes it that much easier to take this out once I go around it with the rotary cutter versus trying to make little cuts around the corners here with the rotary cutter. I just never seem to be able to make them look as smooth as I'd like. And what I use this time is a cheap Amazon scalpel. I got a pack of like 10 of these for like $5. And it seemed to do a pretty good job of cutting through this oil tan leather. So I got a nice starting spot here. This is one thing about this kit that I need to change, and I didn't realize it till I'd already cut these pieces out. I had to cut this one out again in order to fix this problem, but the ends of the pattern are rounded off on all four sides, and because this is a book that folds in, I only want it rounded on the edges that go to the edge of the book. The edges that face the spine, I want them to be straight because I'm going to run a line of stitching down here when I put this piece of suede on the back. It's going to make a little pocket, and I want this to fit flush. Now the same thing goes for this corner pocket I want it to be flush up against the side of the outside of the book. And when the ends are rounded off like that, or rather here and here, it's not gonna be flush. So I'm going to have to cut this back out and have to make this corner here and this corner here square. Now I can show you how I fixed that issue I was going to have with this pattern. Now that the edges are straight, they're going to line up a lot better when this goes to get sewn together. This is now 90 degrees here, 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 and here versus having a rounded off edge. Now I'm going to cut out this piece of suede here to stick to the, or actually it's going to be stitched to the back of this piece. I'm going to try to stay away from any type of glue for a backing piece where I have a notebook or a legal pad rather that I want to slide behind this piece of leather, because it's been my experience on the last couple that I've made is that it's really difficult to sometimes keep the glue exactly where you want it, and then you end up with this little piece of adhesive down in here, and when you go to slide the notepad down in here, it gets stuck. It either makes it hard to put the notepad in or to pull it out. So I only have, in my scraps, I only have this black piece here and this brown piece left right here that you saw me clean off earlier with the lint roller. And I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that I have enough to cover these three pieces. So.
Intergalactic Sober October Champion. It has like marijuana leaf with a line through it, and a bottle of booze with a line through it. And you wear these things. It's he's so far behind, it's impossible to win. But that's the point. The point is to keep the boot on his neck.
Yeah. This only does 7-day challenges, so you basically you start it and they accept, and then it counts for the next 7 days on your cumulative points.
Well, that would be good. Then you just do 4.
All right, I have put some adhesive on the main body piece of this folder, portfolio, whatever you want to call it. And I put it down the spine because this is a lot of area to have just open where no stitching or anything's going to be holding this down. So I want some adhesive in there to help keep the suede from pulling up. Something smaller like that wallet, the Roper wallet I completed, I can probably get away without having any adhesive on it, but something like this needs a little bit of glue. And I also put some for the pocket that's going to go over here in the corner just to prevent that from peeling up as well. I don't want to cover this whole thing with contact cement because it's been my experience that I don't know if this oil tan leather doesn't breathe as well as a vegetable tan or what have you, but when you cover an entire piece of this oil tan with contacted cement, it stinks like glue for days versus vegetable tan leather. it's gone within a couple hours. So that's why I didn't cover the whole thing with glue. I'm going to use the two-sided tape now just to finish cinching down the ends of that, and then I'm going to use it as well on this piece here to just hold this edge down so I can stitch that into place. And like I said, this is a different color, but it's going to be flipped over, so no one's going to be able to see it. All right, just finished up on the machine. Went all the way around. I'm gonna square up these threads here. There we go. You can see where the machine was able to step up and step down from the high point to the low point there on the spine. Same thing over here. There's the pocket, and then space to put the piece of paper there, or a pad of paper rather, and then a little pocket over here. I'll go get a a small legal pad and put that in there so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so these two projects are finished. Here's the wallet, the Roper cowboy style wallet, and the miniature legal pad folder, both made from 4 to 5 ounce oil tan leather that I got from the Springfield Leather Company. And these two projects were made completely from scraps that I had left over in my scrap bin. So they both turned out well. So if you're ever looking, if you do leather craft and you don't have any ideas of what you can do, just take a look in your scrap bin, and you'd be surprised if you put your mind to it what kind of projects you could come up with and finish. So I hope you enjoyed watching these two projects. This is Andrew in Omaha, Nebraska. Have a nice day.